Ready to go? Hello, everybody. My name is Douglas Zielsdorf. I am the admin for Frog God Games Organized Play. I'd like to welcome you to this seminar and welcome you to our celebration of our one-year anniversary of Frog God Games Organized Play. I just, as a formality, need to mention to you that while this talk is being recorded, and even though it is asking for your consent as far as recording is concerned, you are not being recorded, so do not be concerned about that. Now that formality is out of the way, thank you very much for being here, and thank you to those who watched this after the fact. I'm here to talk about organized play again. I did this once before, and we have a YouTube video up that in quite some detail lays out a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about today, but I'm going to talk about more of it now and talk about the changes in things that are happening with our one-year anniversary. So first and foremost, before I get into a long, drawn-out discussion about anything like the origins of all of this, I mean, the name of the seminar is What is Organized Play? And organized play might throw some people off, might make people wonder, you know, what is it I'm signing up for? What's expected of me? What am I getting myself into? And it may cause some hesitancy. Well, plain and simply, what I want everyone to know is that what is organized play? It is people who are interested in fantasy role-playing games and Frog God Games products in particular, getting together and playing games online. And that's it. While there's a few minutiae that I'll go over later, really it's just people getting together, playing games, and having fun. And so I want people to know that and to not be scared of the organized play moniker that, you know, there are rules involved. Not really. It is very loose. It is very easygoing, and it is meant for everyone to have fun. And as a side note, it is absolutely positively free. You're not charged for anything. No one is paid to do this. You don't have to pay anything. And all of the virtual and remote platforms, which I'll get into in a moment, all of them have versions that are also free. So it's just an opportunity to play more with people you might not normally have had the opportunity to play with. So getting that out of the way now, this will be a series of getting things out of the way. The next thing is, I forgot what the next thing is. The next thing is where this all started. I've been playing fantasy role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons, basic set, 1981. I got it. And up until maybe 5 years ago, that was the only way that I played things, at the table, in person, with people. That was the norm. That's the way it goes. That is, you know, in large part my preferred way of playing. And I know it's the same with a lot of other people, and that can cause some hesitancy with playing online. But I do want to assure people from a lifelong tabletop role player, I've enjoyed remote and virtual role-playing games a lot since trying them. And in large part, there's a lot of ease involved with it. I don't have to leave the house. Getting ready to play is, you know, just the prep time and then sitting down in front of my laptop. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to plan dinner for people or snacks. And while it's always an enjoyable portion of get-togethers with people, it's easy to slide into once you get used to the idea of it. So I like to encourage people to try that, because that's what we're doing. We do it basically in two kind of fashions: remotely with organized play or virtually. And just to make the distinction, playing remotely, and this is my distinction more so than anyone else's, is that playing on a platform where you're broadcasting it across the distance to people either visually or audio wise. And those are usually Zoom and or Discord, where you're actually playing a game in your house or wherever you happen to be playing. And you are just linking up with people who are doing the exact same thing someplace else. And we do have GMs with organized play that run remotely rather than virtually. So there isn't a new tech you need to learn. Aside from Discord, which probably if you're here already, you're probably already familiar with Discord, which you can just talk over Discord and then share images and play that way. Or you can go on Zoom and sit here, you know, image to image, face to face, over the many, many miles and run a game that way. And people enjoy that a lot. I've done that myself, particularly for conventions and other special events related to Frog God Games. Then there's virtually. Virtually is platforms like Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Astral. There's a new one that's just come up from one of our new OPGMs called Owl Bear Rodeo, which I'm not familiar with, but it's got a super cool name. So it's something that's probably worth looking into. These are platforms that provide a virtual experience where the game is in large part played inside of this technological venue. Images are shared and maps, and the rules mechanics are often automated by the system itself. I myself play on Fantasy Grounds. I run 5e Dungeons and Dragons on Fantasy Grounds, and I enjoyed that very much. Actually, it has a slightly larger learning curve than some of the other ones like Roll20, but I think its options are very good, very nice, very useful. So just an overview. It's just an opportunity to play with people you wouldn't have had the opportunity to play with otherwise in person in a different venue. And I myself, as a longtime tabletop role player, I've enjoyed this experience very, very much. I mean, I run the thing, so I hope I enjoy it. But aside from that, we've had a lot of positive experience from people. It's not for everyone, but a lot of people also don't try. So I want to encourage people to try something new with this because there's role players all over the country and all over the world that you could have the opportunity to play with in this fashion that you don't have the opportunity otherwise. Now, where did this all start? We're celebrating an anniversary. So a year ago, actually 4th of July weekend, last year, we launched Frog God Games Organized Play. And it started a little before that when COVID showed up and lockdown started happening and mask wearing and restrictions on gatherings and whatnot. I was playing here in person in Colorado. Excuse me. And when all of that hit, those options dried up. Our normal place to play wasn't available. People couldn't get together. Everybody didn't know what was going on. So everybody withdrew to their homes and, go, what do we do now? Remote and virtual role-playing has been going on for quite some time. People have been doing it for quite a few years. I think Fantasy Grounds started in 2004. So this wasn't a new concept. But I was speaking with my GM at the time. I was actually playing rather than running, something unusual for me, Keith Hershey Jr., and he was familiar with Fantasy Grounds and he moved his game over to Fantasy Grounds. And while I stumbled a bit at first, myself, trying it out, I was very, very intrigued with it. And the two of us talking said, well, why can't we do this on a broader scope? We know that Adventurers League is there for Dungeons and Dragons, for Wizards of the Coast. We know there was now I can't think of the name of it. Paizo had had online play as well. Why can't Frog God Games do this? And we decided, well, there's no reason why they can't. We just need to come up with a framework and find a way to present it to Frog God Games and say, hey, we'd like to present something where we're hosting Frog God Games, Necromancer Games products, games, host them online, bring the community together, and let everybody have the opportunity to play while they might have fewer opportunities in person than they had before. Well, we presented at the Frog God Games. They gave us the thumbs up very enthusiastically, and they've been super supportive since we started all of this, and that's grown as we've grown. And July of last year, we launched Frog God Games Organized Play. Everything, when it starts a little slowly, and we had the very same issues, some hesitancy, some awkwardness, even on our part, is how we were going to do this, how it would be organized, how it would proceed. We got over those initial humps, and we've been playing games for over a year now. I started with 5 GMs running in a couple of systems. Oh, the other thing about Organized Play, we were running Frog God Games supported systems. So we run in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder 1st edition, Swords and Wizardry, the game system of Frog God Games itself. And now, as a newer announcement, starting with this anniversary event, we are running Bunnies and Burrows as well. I'm very, very excited about that. It's a very fun system that even I have not played, so I'm looking forward to have that opportunity myself. So we've been running games regularly for a year now and have gotten some very enthusiastic support. Some people have dropped in and just, taken a look and decided it wasn't their thing. And some people, they play every week, more than once a week in different games. with different GMs and have proceeded along there. And that's the allure, the hope, not only just bringing the community together, but you can actually play your characters and continue their progress, keeping their experience, their loot, their treasure, their magic items, and advance along through a campaign style progression of play over time online. And people have really, really liked that. And some groups, they've been together for almost a year now, running with the same GM and basically the same players, playing in a continuous line, a series of events, and advancing their characters like they're playing a real life, home campaign. And people like it a lot. We're coming up on a year, and something I didn't mention already, this is our anniversary celebration. I did mention that. What I didn't mention, it's From Cradle to Pond is the name of this event. And Pond obviously is a reference to Frog God games, frogs and such things. Cradle to Pond is, it came out of the idea of recently, there was a best-selling product from Frog God Games that hit the top 100 on drive-through, and that is, it's going to be backwards, but Cat's Cradle, a city supplement for the Lost Lands for Frog God Games. It was very popular. It was being pushed by Frog God Games, and we came up in Organized Play with the idea of what do we need to do coming up on a year anniversary with things. We decided to take this product, this very good and successful product, and make it sort of the foundation of the campaign aspect of Organized Play. And so what we decided to do is we were centering a bunch of adventures, a bunch of events, and a bunch of concepts around this city of Cat's Cradle. And there are other products, connected to it. It has an NPC book called Fortune Hunters that provides some more depth to the core product, as well as a featured adventure, The Eye of Itral, which is also very good. But we decided that Organized Play needed a home base and decided Cat's Cradle was going to be it. And then hence from that came from Cradle to Pond. And featured in this 10-day celebration, running games every day for 10 days straight here, starting yesterday, and running through the 25th, is there are a lot of Organized Play GMs, game masters, running short vignettes in various systems that are all set in Cat's Cradle and focus on a slightly different bent of adventuring, not so much dungeon adventuring, focusing on urban or mystery or, something just a little different, but meant to be short, meant to be quick, meant to be for low levels, and to bring people into the Organized Play experience and give them a springboard to perhaps enter into regular Organized Play after that. Now, before I get into too much, blathering about things, one thing that I thought was very, very useful last time is I did a quick run through of, well, how do you get into Organized Play? And what do you do when you get to Discord? People get thrown off. There are a lot of channels. I tried to make logical breakdowns for things so that it was easier to navigate, and perhaps that worked and perhaps that didn't. But usually people, once they have a quick little walkthrough or experiment a little bit, they can find their way through. So I'm going to do a share screen and walk you through some of the channels on Discord. The most important thing that you need, two things, as I back up, two things with Organized Play. We do ask that you register to be a part of Organized Play, and no one needs to be concerned about that. All it is sending a single email to myself. It's at fgg.op.overlord@gmail.com, and that email is in Discord as well. But all we're asking for is, what is your name, or what can we refer to you in real life? We presume the email that you sent will be an email that we can contact you at. We don't spam your email or anything like that, but should we need to get a hold of you and we can't get a hold of you on Discord, we will use your email. And then very, very importantly, I have this issue all the time, is that the handle that you use on the Frog God Games Discord. One problem that I routinely have when adding people to Organized Plays, they give me their Discord handle, but it's not the one that they're using on Frog God Games Discord, so I can't tag you. And I need to be able to find you and tag you to assigned Organized Play roles that opens up the appropriate channels and allows you to sign up for stuff. So it's just an email to the fgg.op.overlord email at gmail.com. And we just need your real name. It can be your first name and your last initial. We're not going to hunt you down or do a background check on you or anything like that. Just how we can, that you're a real life person at a certain email, and then how we can find you on Discord as well. And the second thing is you need to be on Discord, because everything it goes through Frog God Games Discord. So you need to be connected to that Discord server, because that is the hub where everything happens. So now, speaking of that Discord, I'm going to do a share screen and pop you over to Discord. And here we have there's lots and lots of channels on the Frog God Games Discord, but the ones we're really interested in are the organized play ones, and almost all of them will have an OP at the beginning of them to help designate them. OP Welcome is just exactly that, welcoming you to organized play, and just runs down some concepts of organized play in case you're coming in here without much information. This is sort of just a summary of what we're talking about. Below that is rules and guidelines. This is just, the general ways of conducting yourself when dealing with organized play. And most of it is very common sense and coincides with Frog God Games Discord server rules. And most of it is be nice. Be nice. Don't insult people or be rude or be inappropriate with people, because if you are, you're going to get removed from, the Discord server. So I ask that people put a reaction the first time they're in on the rules and guidelines as an acceptance of the rules. It's not formalized. It's just something we ask that you actually looked at that and understand that that's what's happening. Registration. Registration is just a little paragraph that is skewed as far as its presentation is concerned. So, it's interesting to read, but describes everything that I just said with regards to registration. The email that you need to send those three pieces of information to, that will get you officially registered. And speaking of registry, we can jump down to the OP roster. When I receive the email for registration, I come over here to the OP roster. I will tag you. Once again, I have to have your Discord, handle that's appropriate. If I can tag you and you've sent the email, then I will tag you, assign your organized play role, and you are good to go. And as the other side thing, once you're registered, no one's under any obligation to do anything. I had a question just the other day, if I sign up for organized play, do I have to play? Well, the answer to that question is no. I'm not 100% sure why you'd sign up if you don't want to play, but I mean, it's entirely up to you. If you're not sure, you're just looking, you try out, that's great. Any interest is wonderful, but there's no obligation. There's no money. No one's going to hunt you down and say, hey, you need to do this. It is completely for free and for fun, and it is for everybody. So be involved as you want to be. Want as many people involved as possible to the degree that they want to be involved, and we can't ask more than that. So that's the OP roster. OP GM only. I can't show you that. That's super secret, only for our organized play GMs. I'll talk about how that happens after we get through all of this. But that's a channel that's just discussion and posting for the organized play GMs themselves. OP game schedule. This is where games are normally posted. Right now, during the anniversary event, this is not where they're being posted, but this will list all of the games in a comparable format that will allow people to sign up. And just to hone in a little bit, if you can look in your average game, this is a game that passed already, but Tunnels of Terror, session 14 for 5e. It'll say who's running the game, and it will have sign up options. Another issue that we have with new people that are coming in is they don't know how to sign up for games. When you're signing up for games, we're using a bot, Apollo, to post these games. And at the bottom of all of the listings are options that you can actually click on. And the important one is the green check mark. If you're signing up for a game, you can hit the green check mark and it will add your name to the game. I just added myself to a game that's past tense, which it will allow you to do. And it will allow you to exceed the normal, the limit of players in there. You can do that. I can unclick myself that way, but adding yourself on there is the click. Tentative. Tentative is the blue question mark. That I have left in there with the Apollo bot to say that I'm interested and I might be able to make it, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not committing myself. And this is for the sake of the GM and for other players, is that they know someone might be coming, but they might not. Your GM also might tag you then if there's an opening in the game or right before it starts and says, hey, are you interested? We're getting ready to go. Come on over and play if you want to. I think it's a very nice feature to have the tentative, and that's why I leave it in there. Also, there's declined. It's not used much, but I've also left that there for another reason. A lot of these games, they run regularly with the same GM. They'll run every week, and a lot of the same players will play. And so then you form just a routine with everyone. And I like the decline button if you're in a game that you're playing regularly, but this particular week you don't happen to be able to play. Usually people communicate on Discord and say, they'll message their GM or their other players, say, hey, sorry, excuse me, I got something going on, I can't play this week. And that's good enough. But you also can click on the decline button that says, hey, I normally play, not that decline button, remember the one at the bottom, and say, I normally play, this time I can't. And every entry, if it's a recurring game, it will always show up again with a new date. So that is that scheduling, which sometimes throws people off. Now, below those channels, there's the OP Open Discussion channel. This is where people talk about organized play stuff. You may be asking questions of admin, of me, which you could also direct message anyone on Discord, if you have questions, me or any of the GMs or the other players for that matter. This is where people just talk about organized play stuff. And a lot of announcements go up in here, where we'll tag everyone with the organized play role. And that means, hey, there's something we want you to know in here. Otherwise, below that, to break it down, if you have something very, very specific, if you want to know about organized play swords and wizardry, there's a discussion channel for that. Or for Pathfinder, or for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So if your question is more specific and you want to break it down, or if we have an announcement or a conversation that we want to start that is more specific to a portion of organized play, that's when we break it down into other channels based on concept. Below that are all the GM channels, and they have people's names in them. These are where usually Discord discussions happen relative to specific GMs or to specific games. So we have 10 OP GMs right now, including myself, and then there's a text channel for every single GM. We have Bill S. and Bill G. and myself and John W. and Michael Mars. Mountains of Madness is a separate thing. It's a closed campaign. I don't think I'm going to address that right now. That is a very specific text channel related to a very specific game that's being run on organized play. That happens, but very rarely. Anyone who wants to know more about that can ask about that. We've got Robbie C's table. OP calendar, that shouldn't be there. I should be hiding that channel. That is not a channel currently in use. Otherwise, there's Vuro, Richard T, Cassandra, and Bob F channels. So all that's specific to GMs or specific to their games. If your questions or commentary are even more specific than what I've mentioned before. Now, how do you play games? This is something that's recently changed. There was originally voice channels for all the GMs. What we have now is the organized play down below a little farther. The org play open VC. What we can do is we can open up specific voice channels only when we need them. And when we're speaking in voice in Discord relative to a specific game, the GM will open a channel in there. We'll head it appropriately. It will be Bob's voice channel or whatever. It's a way to streamline because we have so many channels in Discord. Now, above that is OP Cradle to Pond channels. Those are recently added specific to this 10-day event we're doing right now. It has its own announcements channel, which has stuff pinned, including, hey, the talk that's going on right now with yours truly. But that is just an announcement channel. You may be allowed to react to it, but you can't post in there if you're just a regular player. It's just to make announcements. Below that is Cradle to Pond discussion channel. Should be fairly self-explanatory, but stuff specifically related to this event. And then the schedule, since we were running in 10 days. Prior to this, we've done like game days with Frog God Games and done it over a weekend. And so that everything was broken down into one big calendar of events or broken down to 3 specific days. But since we were running 10 days, the schedule would have gotten so chaotic with events all over the place. It would have been almost impossible to follow. So what we did is we broke it down into 3 schedule channels. One of them for the first weekend, which you are currently in, the 16, 17, 18 Cradle to Pond schedule channel. Then there is the 19 to 21st, 19 to 22nd, sorry, covering this upcoming week during the weekdays. And then we have a 3rd channel during next weekend. And these have all of the games specifically related to our anniversary event. And no regular organized play events are happening during this event. So all of the scheduling is down in these 3 channels. And this is where you can sign up for those games. look and see what's there. There is a master schedule that is out that shows the whole 10 days, but you can't sign up off of that. This is where you sign up for those games. It's broken down by the 2 weekends and then the weekdays in between. So just to clear up anything that's there. And Organized Play Open BC, that's our voice channels as well. If anyone has any questions about how to navigate the Discord, you can tag one of the moderators or tag me, or find one of these channels and go, I'm lost, I don't know what I'm doing, can you please help me? Someone's always around to help out, and very, very willing to help out with stuff. So that will be that is a tour of Discord. Stop the share, and happy Halloween, everybody. A little sip of coffee. So we're celebrating a year here. Yep. Someone says Owlbear Rodeo is pretty cool little tool. Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm actually looking forward to it. Because I'm completely unfamiliar with that, and Astral is newer, and I'm not familiar with that either. I've sort of found my niche with Fantasy Grounds, and I still haven't upgraded from Classic to Unity, even though I have Unity. I'm learning Unity now because it's a little different, and eventually I move over to Unity because most products need to be Unity compatible. But that's a whole different story. So we welcome everybody and anybody to try out Organized Play as players. And I do get, and this happens all the time, I do get people who are established GMs in other platforms, in other places. They're their GM for their home group and stuff like that. And they're very enthusiastic and very knowledgeable. And they say, ooh, Organized Play, and I want to do this. I want to run games for you. Unfortunately, I have to shoot most of these people down, at least initially. We are growing Organized Play, organically. I had to pick Organized Play GMs initially from people that I knew, people directly connected with Frog God Games, people whose reputations and skills were well known, that I could trust, were able to run the games, handle the platforms, and properly represent Frog God Games in doing so, because this is a reflection of Frog God Games, what we're doing here. So I started very, very limited and have only squeaked through a few people. We've now doubled our number of GMs. We now have 10. And I do want more. I absolutely positively do want more for those people who are interested in GMing. What we do ask is, I've always felt it's very important to see that people were willing and able to be involved first and foremost. Express interest, come in, play, present yourself. Establish, who you are, what you're like, what you do, what do you know? And it's not sucking up to anybody, but it doesn't hurt to impress someone in Organized Play. And it doesn't have to be me. I mean, ultimately, I'm the one who has to approve a new Organized Play GM. But impress the GM that you're playing with. So this person is really cool. They really got their stuff together. They're really enthusiastic. They show up every week, and they're interested in becoming a GM. Great. I'd love to have it happen. We might have you run a game just to see what happens when we turn over the reins to you as a game master. But it is we're not being elitist or this is not a closed circuit here. We want new people to come in. I want more players. I want more GMs. I want more games. I want it to just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. But we've got to make sure that we have the right people. And the best way to do that is to be involved. Just show up. Show up, have some fun, impress some people, and it's going to happen before you know it. All right. We're moving into our second year, and we are celebrating now with 10 days of tons of games. We've got, raffle games that we raffled off with the frogs themselves. Bill Webb's was supposed to happen last night. It got rescheduled for Tuesday night. Matt Finch is running Baron's Gambit, which is very exciting, a new release with the new Swords and Wizardry box set. He is personally running that Tuesday afternoon. We raffled off seats for that. And Zach Glazer is running Whisper and Venom, at least a portion of it, on next Saturday. And we raffled all those seats off ahead of time just as premiums for it. Normally, these would be games during special events where people would have to pay money for and pay bigger money for to participate. But as part of Organized Play, we wanted to get people involved. Hey, register. We have this raffle. We've got, these premium experiences with these great GMs. I've played with all of them. And most recently, I played with Zach Glazer for the first time. And I was so incredibly impressed. And just, it was the different. I didn't even know how to describe it. It was run in a different fashion than I was accustomed to. And I mean, I loved every second of it. It was a truly, pleasurable gaming experience. And then Matt Finch and Bill Webb, their reputations precede them. So everybody who got into those games, they're very lucky and they're going to have a really great time. Not that you're not going to have a great time playing with everybody else, because I played with almost everybody, almost all of our OPGMs at one time or another. I will have to say there's at least one I haven't had them run something for me. But we have great GMs running great games all week long, and then continuing, through the rest of this coming year. There are games almost every day of the week. Most of them are night games. We're working towards day games, so we haven't had a lot of people expressing interest in day games. Even on the weekends, people seem to be busy. They have their own games. They have family obligations and family plans and stuff like that. But one thing that I do ask from organized players is if there's something you want to see on a particular day, a particular system that we're running, of course, at a particular time slot, to let us know. I can only schedule as many games as people will actually attend, that I have enough GMs to run. The more interest we have expressed, the more people that show up, the more demand that we have, the more we can strive to provide people. And that's the way it has grown up to this point. That's the way I want it to grow. Moving on. Our anniversary event. While this is going on, I've said a lot about that, but we raffled off some seats, some premium games. There will be some prizes involved, some free PDFs coming to those who participate through the course of this. And also for those who participate, we are going to have a special raffle after the event is done, drawn from everybody who actively participated in one or more of the games, to actually have bundles of physical Frog God game products that we will ship out to people, and keeping it all very, very hush-hush. You got to get involved to get these, and you'll be entered into a raffle. I don't know how many bundles we're going to have. I have a couple myself of things I'm going to send out, and we have several people working on this, and I have a feeling it will be more than I originally anticipated. Lots and lots of wonderful Frog God Games product that will be shipped to your door absolutely free. As I understand, you're not going to pay for the product. I know that for sure. I don't know the shipping details, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be absolutely, positively, completely free, because that is what organized play is like. That's what it's about. That's the way we like to keep it. Also on top of that, something I want to bring up, I don't think I quickly bring up an image, but if you've been in Discord recently, and particularly in Frog Chat when the raffle happened, we are going to be instituting, it's still a fledgling thing, Frog God Gold. Originally, it was going to be known as FGG, but we thought there might be some confusion with FGG being Frog God Games. So it's Frog God Gold, but for short, it's going to be FGP, or Frog Gold Pieces. Is going to be a digital currency that we're going to be using with regard to special events like this that we'll be awarding. We have a really cool image that was worked up by Frog God Games to represent it, but it's going to be a currency that you can get and earn by participating in special events. And then that is something that can transfer over into regular organized play. You can buy benefits. Oh, I'm sorry, Perry. Well, we're going to work on that. Games during the day, the only ones that work for me. We're going to, as soon as we've got the interest, we're going to make them happen, because we also have some people that are international, that, night games or evening games or afternoon games in the United States are the middle of the night, or like 6 o'clock in the morning, in Europe. So we're going to work on it. We absolutely are. As soon as we know the people are there, as soon as we know the interest is there and we have people to running it. Yeah, you keep checking the schedule. I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to work on it. I will make a note and we'll see what we can do. Day games may very well be better, and I would like to see them. I would like to see them as soon as there are people, we know we have people to play in there. Sorry, back to Frog God Gold. This is stuff you'll be able to buy benefits in organized play, and you can either, spend them one at a time and get, smaller benefits, or you could save them up and then get bigger things. We're still working on the details of exactly how that's going to happen. but it is going to happen. And what else happens with Frog God Gold aside from that, because Frog God Games is directly involved with this? There may be a way eventually that it transfers into something else, and it may become a physical product as well, item as well that goes to conventions and stuff like that. Keep my fingers crossed, wait and see. It's a new thing I'm very excited about. The one thing that I can say that it can be used for right now that I absolutely know of is if you get Frog God Gold, FGPs, in this event, and they'll be assigned after that, don't worry about that. We'll be tracking attendance in the events, and then that will be handled after the anniversary is done. One thing that you can do is you can take, a lot of our games are using pre-generated characters. And if you're using a pre-generated character in a special event like this, well, we don't want you to waste your effort, just run a pre-generated character at first level, and then it's all gone when you're done, just like a convention. There's a beauty to that in conventions, but organized play is also about continuity. So what you will be able to do with special events is to play a pre-generated character that you start to build up. Maybe you level up, or you get some gold and some magic items, you get some experience, but say, I don't want to play this specific pre-generated character, but I want to join organized play. One thing that FGPs will be able to do is you will be able to buy the experience from the special event and transfer it over to organized play. So if you got, let's just say 5th edition, because that's what I'm running right now. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm historically exclusively like swords and wizardry. So 5e has been a newish thing in the last year. But we'll say 5th edition. You've gotten 360 experience points and a +1 shield during the course of playing one of the games in the From Cradle to Pond. What you can do with that Frog God Gold, and it'll probably just be one, is you can take that experience from that pre-generated character and the stuff and move it over to an organized play character, transfer over. Your character may already start at 2nd level and have a magic item and have more gold. And just to show that sense of continuity to things. And like I said, there may be other things you can buy for 1, and then we'll have lists for 2s and 3s. Some of them may be system specific, some of them may not. But this is the baseline for Frog God Gold. Time check, okay. We're running close to time, so I covered that. One question that often comes up is this going to happen in person? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope organized play makes it to actual conventions. What has to happen is we have to get enough physical conventions going where we can get organized play GMs or people who are authorized to be organized play GMs to run games in person, and we should be able to relay that information back to the online experience and then track that. So the answer is I absolutely positively hope so. I was originally going to make it to Gamehole Con in Madison, Wisconsin this fall. It does not look like that's going to happen. That was my original plan to make that happen because there's also 1 or 2 other GMs, OP GMs, that also live in Wisconsin that will attend Gamehole. If I have to say, is it going to happen in person? The first time it will happen will be at Gamehole. I'm not 100% sure who. I'm not exactly sure how. But I do want to see it happen for all those who want to do organized play in person. It's coming. I'm not sure how soon, but it is coming. Otherwise, we're celebrating an anniversary event. There's tons of stuff going on. We've got seminars. We've got specials. Like I said, there are going to be prizes. So get out there and sign up for events. There's a lot of events on the schedule, and there are more going up as we go along. The idea was to have more of the earlier events up and ready for sign up sooner than others. So, for example, my Tuesday night game just went up on the schedule last night. Officially for signups. I want to sort of focus on periods since we're going for 10 straight days to drive it into certain focal points as we go along. But there's tons and tons and tons of games, lots of opportunities to get involved, with a lot of great GMs and a lot of great players who will show up, people you wouldn't normally have had the opportunity to play. And I heartily encourage everybody to get involved. I so appreciate everyone who expressed interest in playing or in GMing. And for people who show up for these events, we want to make it worth your while. We want you to have fun, and we want you to keep coming back. Now, year 1 did not have a theme, though. What I did see a lot of Rapanathik run by our GMs, or stuff focused around Rapanathik material for those who are familiar with it. And it's been a lot of fun. And that will continue to go on. But there wasn't a theme for the first year. There's a theme for year 2 starting after this event. It will be the Year of the Frog God. So expect, for those who follow up with things, expect lots and lots of frogs and frog-like things to show up. Sathaga is going to appear in all kinds of weird places. We will have special events regarding that kind of stuff. Hopefully giveaways. The sky's the limit as far as organized play is concerned. I have lots and lots of high hopes, lots and lots of big plans that I hope to see come along. And I hope that everybody comes along with us. With that, I figure we're getting fairly close to time. I've talked for about 40 minutes straight, which isn't by any stretch of the imagination a record for me. But maybe you're tired of hearing it. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know at the FGG Overlord email. Hit me up on Discord. Real life happens, and I started a new job recently, so my schedule's gotten all wonky. I haven't run games in a while. But I've been managing this event, but always checking Discord and always checking that email. And there are other people that are always around. If you have anything you need, anything you want to get cleared up, anything you need help with, please let us know. We want to make the experience actually as easy as possible so that the focus can be on just playing games and having fun. Celebrating Frog God games, Necromancer games, and having a good time as a community. The Frog God Games community has always been great. I've always loved it. And it is growing. I want to see it grow more. I want to see it grow in an active sense with regards to organized play. That's why I originally proposed this. That's why I've continued with this. That's why I'm still working on it. It's very rewarding to see new people come into it and to see the people who stay and continue to be involved and continue to participate. It's a closeness and a sense of community that I think sometimes is missing with other stuff. So please come help us celebrate Frog God Games, celebrate organized play, give us a try, get involved, and that is about all I have. If there aren't any other questions in chat, I don't see any right now, but if not, there is another video where I say a lot of comparable other things on YouTube. Otherwise, I tried to mix it up a little bit structurally as well as information-wise. If I missed anything, I apologize. Like I said, hit me up. I'm always willing to answer a question. And apparently, this video says I'm always willing to talk about this stuff. So I appreciate those who are here, and I appreciate those that are watching later. Thank you to the moderators for helping set this up. And I do want to do a shout out to all my OPGMs and the other people that are already involved with organized play. Thank you for everything that you guys do and for being involved. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And that's about what I have. Oh, do you have to register to put? You do need to register for organized play to get involved with the event. Yes, I made that a stipulation. A lot of the organized play channels are keyed to the organized play role, so it really does make things easier. And in a lot of the announcements, I did say, we're making you sign up for organized play. Don't worry about that. You're not going to, if you decide this isn't what you want, that you don't like it, it's not a good fit, you don't like your information, being out there, all you do is you send another email to fggop.overlord at gmail.com. I can remove anyone from the roster at any point in time. I am the one who sees your email and your Discord handles and your real name, and I can delete that stuff from my spreadsheets too. Like I said, there's no obligation at any part after you sign up. And if you don't want to be involved anymore, that is perfectly fine. Thanks for stopping by. But yes, we do require that you register for organized play to get involved in the event. It's just putting your toe in the water, and hopefully you'll like the temperature of it. You like the temperature of the pond, so to speak. Any other questions? We can give 10 more seconds. Maybe I can do a rendition of a song or something like that, just in case. No. Okay. Otherwise, I think that's 45 straight minutes of organized play and 45 straight minutes of me. So hopefully I didn't bore you. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it was interesting, and hopefully for anyone who hasn't tried organized play, that you'll give us a shot.